Hello, 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 my beautiful people. It's me, Coach Lee, coming at you with your Movement Monday. Let's get it started. Hey, let's get it moving. Hey. All right, so those that are new to my channel, I am Coach Lee, the world's number one a master self love trainer that uses a holistic approach. All right, so let's dive in. I had to take a deep breath because the message that I have to give today is about grief, it's about loss. And when I say grief and loss, it's have you ever lost someone? And I'm not talking about just to death, I'm also talking about the relationship ended, the marriage failed, y'all parted ways. That's still a form of a loss. When you're in a relationship and then it ended, that is a form of loss that y'all had to go through. That is a form of loss that you had to deal with. You had to give yourself that time to actually process it. You have to give yourself that time to heal through it. So, even when it comes to a relationship, it's similar to the loss of grieving over an individual that passed away that's no longer with you. Not saying you're not going to be able to talk to that person again. What I'm saying is a lot of relationships, especially if you've been in one for a few years, and it just y'all have so many memories together. Y'all held so much, like, especially if it was like, oh my gosh, we're just so inseparable. You see that person, you see the other person. It's just y'all had built this bond, and then all of a sudden, it's over. Y'all have to split. So what I want to let you know is you have to give yourself that time to process, to heal, and then to start nurturing and loving yourself through it. I know with me in the past, and I only can speak of me, when I speak and I just tell y'all my experiences, that what I experienced was when one relationship was over, I'm jumping into the next. So I did not give myself that time to process it. I did not give myself time to heal because I didn't want to deal with it. I was like, well, I'll be all right, going on to the next. At the same time, if I was in a long-term relationship with someone, why would I just jump into the next relationship? When we tell you why. I did that because I did not want to deal with my emotions. I did not want to accept how I was really feeling, and I did not want to process through the grieving. Processing through that grieving is what is crucial and what is needed. Yes, it's very emotional. Yes, it's very heavy. At the same time, that is something that you have to heal yourself through. You have to actually, when you're in a relationship and the relationship is ending, now you have to get in a space where it's like, it's time for me to look at me. It's time for me to focus on me. What can I do for self that is going to allow me to heal, allow me to grow? So as you looking at that and having to go through all of that stuff, it's like I have to also accept that the relationship ended. Whether it ended through however it may have ended, you have to accept the fact that it came to a loss. It came to a closure. I mean, it came to an end. And then you have to give yourself that closure. Not saying the closure will be soon, not saying it will be quick, not saying it will take years. That's how you can process it. At the same time and space, I do want to let you know that when it comes to that grieving phase, you don't want to be so immersed in it that you become depressed. And that can happen. You can get to a space where you start trickling down, and trickling down, and then you're in this ball of darkness, and you don't want to come out of it. No matter what someone is saying to you, no matter what someone is trying to pull you out to get you out in the sun, you just like I just can't do it. I will say, give yourself a few days so you can actually be in that moment with it and actually dive deep into it, because that is something you have to experience and feel and go through in order for you to learn to move to the next phase, which is, well, we ain't going to talk about the next phase because we're talking about this phase with the grieving. And I say they're similar to a death is because it's something that ended. It shed it away from you. It was over. And It can be really hard. It could be really emotional. Know that those emotions are needed. Know that it's okay to cry. It's okay to release those tears and let them out. Some people, we want to hold their tears back and constantly wiping their eyes like, I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to cry. Do it. It's okay. I'm giving you the permission to cry, to release it, to let it out because it's necessary. It's part of you releasing. That's what it is. Your tears is part of you releasing something that needs to come out of your body. And when it comes to grieving of a loved one, a death, you're going to have those times where you want to cry and cry and cry. And then you may even be emotionless and wondering why I don't have no type of emotions, why I don't have no type of feelings. That's because you're in a space where it's like, I don't know how to process this. I don't know if I want to process this. And that's even with a relationship ending too. It be in a space where it's like, I don't know how to process this. I don't know if I want to process this. I'm just numb to the whole situation because it seemed unbelievable to me. When that happens, now it's time for you to really dive deeper into yourself. Go into the space of looking inward with you. What am I feeling? Why do I feel this way? How do I move on with this feeling? How do I process this feeling? Like, you have to get in a space where you're really asking yourself these questions. How come I'm numb to this situation? You're numb to it because your mind is and body is not knowing how to connect to the actual emotions of what reality had happened to you. And it's like getting in that space of, did this really happen? Do I really have to process this? What to do? And it can be so hard to learning how to process certain situations when your mind is telling you, no, this is not true. This did not happen. It did not just end. At the same time, know that when a relationship ends, whether it's with death or with it just over, that part of your life had to shed away. And I know you probably like, well, that is harsh. Like, a loved one had to die from me, had to shed away from me. I'm not saying it like that. I am compassionate about it. What I'm saying is that death is part of life. No matter how we look at it, it's part of life. It's part of living. When you really, really think about it, we live in to die. We just don't know our expiration date. No one does. So when it comes to in a relationship ending, that we don't know the expiration date either. It just, everything has to come to an end at a one point in time of another. That's why I said this topic today is a little heavy. And I feel like I need to take a deep breath in. And just sit in a moment and be in a moment. Just sit and be in a moment with it. And just know that the sun will still come out, the sun will still rise. Even on the most rainiest storms, even if it's been raining for weeks, the sun eventually will come out and you'll be able to rise. Thank you all for listening. Thank you so much for listening. I'm here for you. I'm there for you. Please share, like, and comment. At the same, also, if you feel as though you need to further move forward and talk to me, aligning up with me, I'm also going to put my link in the chat in the description where you can get a free consultation at heal.me/Coach Lee, and I'll put the link in the description as well. Thank you all. Sending lots of love, sending lots of sunlight, sending lots of light, love. And remember, have peace in your mind, love in your heart, happiness in your soul. Namaste. Until next time, my beautiful people.